All right, guys, I am back here with Kevin. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the Dodge Last Calls. Now, if you happen to be living on an automotive rock, or you're just not a big, fan of this particular brand, these are the last editions, essentially, of, well, 3 million have been produced, I think, over the last, decade? Or,
couple decades,
yeah, so 20 plus years. And they're going to make 300, I believe, of the King Daytonas.
That's correct. Yep.
And then, 300 of
300 of the Black Ghost.
Yep.
Yep.
And then 1,000 of the Super B.
Is
that right?
Super B, it'd be split 500, 500 of wide body, narrow body. Okay. We'll do same thing on here on the Shakedown. Yep. Be 500 wide body, 500 narrow, and then 1,000 each of the two swingers over here.
Now you can go on the dealer locator website.
Yep, on DodgeGarage.com we'll have our horsepower locator where you can go in and you can find where any of these are going in terms of what dealers, and you can give your dealer a call that shows that they have one available, and work with them to secure your last call. Yeah,
more like beg them, but but it's So tell us just a little bit about it. So let's just say you don't know anything about let's say the King Daytona. This has a storied history, right?
It does, yes. Yep. This car really celebrates both a car and a person. So the guy's name is Big Willie Robinson. He was famous in California, kind of in the car culture scene back in the late 60s, early 70s. And he was really a proponent of using car culture, using racing performance to get crime off the streets. And so he worked with the LAPD to open up what was called Terminal Island to do legal street racing there. And so the car that he drove at the time was a orange 1969 Daytona, the big wing car, and he called it the King Daytona. And his wife at the same time, she had the Queen Daytona. Right. So just his efforts, and they really aligned with the Brotherhood of Muscle of the Day that we have, and kind of our ethos. And so we really wanted to celebrate both him and the car. And you can see it's bright orange still. We got the orange accents inside. And this model is based off of our top, so it's based off the red-eye wide body, and it actually gets an additional bump of horsepower up to 807.
807. Is it possible to check out the engine on this real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you got to see this thing, and I know some of y'all aren't as familiar with the engine, the Hellcat red-eye engine to the world. They are a piece of kit, let me tell you.
Definitely.
Especially with 800 horsepower. And the transmission, is it still going to be similar to previous years?
Our 8-speed transmission that we have.
8-speed, yep. Woo. Wow.
And then you can see here that all of our 23 model years, as part of the last call, will have these commemorative badges underneath the hood. So both Chargers and Challengers, these will be on every 23 model year.
Got it. Wow. So let's head over to this thing. This is probably, the Challenger here is the most popular model from my research, other than this one right here. Everybody wants this one, right?
It's definitely getting a lot of attention, and that's because it has a lot of unique pieces to it. So again, this one celebrates both a person and a car.
Right.
It's called Black Ghost because in the 70s in Detroit, there was a police officer by the name of Godfrey Qualls, and he would drive his 1970 Challenger around, and he would participate kind of in the stoplight racing scene a little bit, and then he would just disappear.
The Black Ghost.
So he kind of came and went, and so he got this mystique and kind of coined the term Black Ghost. So kind of celebrate again that tie to the muscle car, tie to Detroit, and do it in a very, you can tell this car has a lot of heritage touches. You got the gator skin vinyl on the top to tie to the old vinyl roof of the 70s.
This is something, really. So
it's super cool.
It's textured and everything. It's really cool.
It's a very, very cool, and you can't go wrong with a black Challenger.
It looks great.
And then we have the bright wheels, the bright badging with the Heritage Challenger script, the white stripe on the back. It's just
so menacing.
It has not exact replica of his car, but pulls in all the right cues from the 70 Challenger and his specific model. So
very cool. And you can personalize these pretty much. I'm seeing these jailbreak editions. New colors are coming back.
For colors, we're bringing back Sublime, B5, Plum Crazy, and then Destroyer Gray, which everyone kind of got up in arms a few years ago, and we got rid of it. So, but yeah. So all of the special editions that you see here will be built in one spec. But then if you want to get into that custom level, get into those jailbreaks, you can customize to your heart content. So,
I got it.
So yeah, those are kind of the two ones based on our red-eye models, and as you mentioned, really driving a lot of excitement. So
absolutely. So then this is the 1,000 of these Super Bs, right?
Correct.
And
Yes.
then this color, is that the purple color you were talking about?
Yeah,
the
that's
plum
plum
purple.
crazy. Yep.
It's beautiful.
It
it's
is.
Stunning color.
Such a good color, and all these colors just underneath the light here for sure. Really stand out too.
And this has got the wide body kit, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Yeah. So the Super B is based on the Scat Pack model, so it has our 392 Hemi.
Yep.
And this is more of a drag racing focused model. So whereas the majority of the special editions are more of appearance packages and kind of commemorative editions, this is actually a performance package as well. You'll see that it has our 305 drag radial tires, 18-inch wheels, but it also underneath has our trans brake, drag mode, and all of our drag timers and everything. So it's a drag racing focused model similar to our 1320 Challenger model that we have in market right now.
Got it.
So this will be available, as you see here, plum crazy purple wide body, and that'll be 500. The other 500 will be a B5 blue narrow body.
Okay.
20-inch wheels and 20-inch drag radials.
Interesting. Now, if you don't know, how much power is this making right now?
This makes 485. The Scat Pack is just right in the bread and butter of our lineup. I mean,
It's your most
807
popular
is great,
car.
but I mean, it's it's such a perfect place. And that's why the majority of these models are kind of right there. Especially because a lot of our Scat Pack customers have been telling us, stop giving all the love to the Hellcat, please. Give us a little bit here. So that's where the Shakedown, the Swinger, the Super Beats kind of come into play.
Sure. Wow, they're awesome. Real quick, since we're here, we've got 2 cars left to discuss that they brought here to SEMA, and they brought some other ones too, I'll show, but I mean, these are Swingers, so tell the folks.
Yeah. So Swinger, although never anything that was really tied directly to Charger or Challenger in our history, Swinger was on the Dart, and it was kind of a popular package on the cars back in the day, and it really tied to Dodge.
Sure.
So we wanted to apply that here, but do it on both cars and kind of give this set look here.
Yeah.
You'll notice that there's a little bit of a green theme going on.
Yep.
Both cars will be available in either color. So Sublime here on the Challenger, and then F8 green here on the Charger. They'll also be available in white. So we have 3 colors on these on the Swingers here. And then that green theme continues throughout the inside of the cabin. So green stitching on the seats and IP. And so just kind of a cool heritage touch. And then actually what's really cool is, and very subtle, but kind of the wood grain that used to be on the cars back in the 70s, our design team has come up with a really cool wood grain kind of texture on the metal IPs on the console and IP. So again, just kind of cool little heritage throwbacks without being overly 70s. And then the wheels and the shaker on the Challenger, we have what we call our gold school finish, which is like this really cool, unique kind of tinted silver that just really kind of screams 70s, but also on these massive wide body wheels just looks great.
It does. It's a good looking car. Well, I gotta say, very cool, man. I mean, these are really good looking cars.
They're great looking cars.
They really are. Did you say these are also going to be limited runs?
Correct. So it'll be 500 of each on the F8 green,
Okay.
300 white, and then 200 Sublime. And then all the Sublimes on the Challenger will be manuals.
So we're talking about less than 3,000 cars.
Yeah, all told,
right?
all told, I think it's just over 4,000 for all of them. So it's
Not a lot.
They're all special editions. They're meant to be special for the customer that wants them. We've chosen, as you can see, all of our heritage colors to drive that connection, to drive that passion. So
what happens after this? I mean, what?
The Daytona. This is the last call.
Wow.
This is it. 23 model year is the last for the Charger and Challenger, as we know with our V8s, and the future is exciting. It's
a cool
electric,
car.
and there's, like I said, we're working and doing whatever we can to make sure that we continue
It's a car
to be a
that
Dodge.
your audience wants to buy.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we are fully committed to being who we are.
Yep.
And continuing to provide cars that deliver.
Guys, I'm not gonna front. I'm not been a huge Dodge fanboy. And I probably lack a lot of Dodge content on the channel, and I'm gonna do my best to remedy that. But I'm so impressed just with their whole setup here at SEMA, the ethos of the brand, the way their CEO Tim talks about it in his press conferences recently. It's just they're doing EV in such a great, cool, and kind of aspirational way versus like others that are being kind of forced into it. Even though they're saying they're being forced into it, they're doing it in their own style, and that's just cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. It's been awesome coming to SEMA this year in Vegas. I've been here since Monday, and we've done a ton of stuff. So check us out on Instagram and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Once again, big shout out to Kevin. He was a great sport with letting me do this, and we will talk to you guys on the next one.